Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light, Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you all, wherever you are, when you're watching in the world? A huge shout out to you. It is Sunday here, early afternoon. I've been up since early this morning. I captured the most beautiful sunrise and posted it on my Facebook and Instagram accounts. And it just reminded me, I caught the sun as it was coming over the skyline or the mountain or the hill tops, and its rays early enough so that its rays were gentle and literally flooding the landscape. I loved that I got that view. Yesterday when I met a friend in the park, I had a huge swarm of corellas. They're a galah, a native galah to Australia, and I mean maybe hundreds and hundreds of them just flying around me overhead in a spiral. So I take everything, all these special things. I understand that is the beauty of nature, but also it's the divine communicating, contacting, letting you know that they're there. Now, today I want to do a couple of things. My first reading on Russia months ago suggested that he would use the separatists in the territories occupied by pro-Russian separatists, which he's been funding, to try and get a foothold in Ukraine. It appears that's what he is doing. I didn't see at the time that there would be a full-scale invasion, and that is because of something or some things that US President Biden is doing. So those that say, well, why is the US jumping up and down? They're jumping up and down because many say that if a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine would really be the forerunner to war in Europe. I don't know about that, but I do understand that invading Ukraine will make Russia, Putin and Putin's Russia far more powerful than what it is now. I want to just say, so this concerns us all in terms of checking a dictator's power and aggression in the world that we live in. Ukraine is the largest country in Europe, and its population is approximately 42 million people. 42 million people, the majority of whom do not want to be under Russia's rule. They want to be free. They want to have, albeit an imperfect democracy in Ukraine, nevertheless democracy. Now, to understand why Putin has both an ideological and a practical, resource-driven need for you to take over Ukraine, the country, Ukraine was the key economy in the former Soviet Union. It's actually classified by the World Bank as a middle-income country. So Australia is a middle-income country. That you can use that as a comparison with all our rich reserves. Ukraine is also rich in natural resources. So it has, it's rich in energy resources, metal ores, non-metal ores, although it only accounts for 0.4% or thereabouts of the Earth's land surface and its population. The country has approximately 5% of the world's mineral resources. So, that kind of gives you a picture of why Putin is just pushing and has pushed for so long. When he annexed Crimea, he took control of the oil fields that Ukraine had in the Black Sea. So, okay. So why would the West be jumping up and down? Well, I've just kind of painted a bit of a picture. It would also put Russia, a more powerful Russia, right just there with Europe. And what's to say that his aggression would stop with Ukraine. Of course, it wouldn't. All right, so we're all tired of conflicts that we think have nothing to do with us, but there is, you saw the damage that Putin did in the US. There is a need to stand up to dictators and those that seek to take over countries that do not belong to them, whose people do not want to be overtaken and invaded by another country. All right, I'm going to use my black and gold tarot, and then after I finish with this question, I'm going to move to the ex-president because, you know, as much as anything, he is all tied up in this as well. Would the world be a better place without Vladimir Putin? Of course it would. Of course it would. Okay, so let's take a look at will there be, that's the question, will there be a full-scale invasion of Ukraine? Will Putin, as much as we can see right now, will there be a full-scale invasion of Ukraine? Will there be a full-scale invasion of Ukraine? Somebody's drinking from a cup here. What is this? I'm also seeing a sunrise. I think he's still deciding. I don't think he's made that ultimate decision. Let's see what the cards are saying. Will Putin mount a full-scale invasion of Ukraine? So we've got Judgment, which is really about an inevitability. It's also a highly karmic card. What would Europe do if we had to witness mass casualties of Ukrainian troops? And, you know, would we stand idly by? There's something around this cycle there is an inevitability here. The Judgment card comes when there's karma there. There's world karma there. We've got challenged by the Five of Cups. Okay, so my thinking around these cards is that, you know, a month ago it probably would have been an inevitability. I think that's what he had in mind. However, he is confronted with what the remaining allies, Western allies, would do if he did that. He sees that this would come at a great cost to him. Now, previous readings indicated that he wouldn't mount a full-scale invasion, but he would take separatist territory. He would occupy that separatist territory, as you know, bit by bit. So we have the Devil card here, and of course we know what the Devil is. The Devil is ambition, unfettered ambition, greed. You know, Putin is the wealthiest person in the world. How much is enough for Vladimir Putin? Obviously not enough. This is also, you know, in terms of the Five of Cups, I see that this Devil energy, he stands to lose. That's at the foundation of the reading, and we have to move through that Devil energy to come out the other side, and there's great loss there. Two of Pentacles, he was, or in the past, immediate past, he walking a tightrope with resources. He wants Russia to grow. He wants expansion, financial resources, the gaining of those economies was very instrumental. And Russia is not a superpower. I don't even know, is it a middle power? Geopolitically, it's ranked very low. So we've got him walking a tightrope. What's actually going on in the economy in Russia? Because we've got financial considerations here driving his decisions. The crown of this reading is the Seven of Cups. That's Piscean energy. I do feel that, this is an ability to make a decision, but it's also illusion and delusion smoke screens, throwing out we're only doing drills, that kind of thing, when intelligence and evidence would suggest otherwise. We have the Ace of Wands in the immediate future. That to me is a plan moving forward. That's movement forward with a plan. The Knight of Swords in the here and now. Well, the Knight of Swords, truth, brandishing truth. But the Knight of Swords is soldier-like energy. It's quick movement forward. And we've got the environment around the Page of Swords. So this can be betrayal. It can be treasonous. It can also be the spy in the camp. I just see Putin's energy here. Of course, when he became president of Russia, the KGB was back in, or the KGB mentality was back in power. So I think we will, basically he doesn't want you to know what he's doing. He doesn't want the West to know. The Four of Wands in the hopes and fears. This is reunification. It's not looking really positive for Ukraine at this stage, but let's take a look at the outcome card, the Moon card. Something hidden and coming to the surface. This is Devil energy. And the Lovers card. Those who may be helping Putin. What's this? Is Putin a Gemini? The Lovers card, that's the card for Gemini. The Moon card. He has allies that we don't know about. And the past, going back to the past. Now, the Moon card is not a strict yes. That is something needs to occur before we see what's really there. So let's see. There's something in the past. Now, the World card, endings and beginnings. Okay, it's going to be difficult for him to do what he wants to do. This is also what he tried to get Trump to do, because the Lovers card, we know who the Gemini is. It is Trump. So he tried to get Ukraine in another way. He tried to get NATO disbanded. He tried to expand his influence by seating someone, one of his allies, if you like, in the president's seat. Okay, show me this Moon card. All right, so we've got here the Queen of Swords, logic. It's not a king, and I'm going to say he might back off from a full-scale invasion, because I don't see the King of Swords. I did the other day, but I'm not quite yet. And the Ten of Cups, families, unconditional love and justice. No, I do feel this is the West coming together and deterring him from this full-scale invasion. The fact that the Justice card has turned up here along with the Judgment card could be Putin's Waterloo. Whatever he does, it could be the end of him. Okay, so the Moon card is the outcome. It's neither a yes or no. It says something has to come to the surface before we find out. There's so much murkiness there. Okay, so would Europe stand idly by if Ukrainians were slaughtered by a Russian invasion? So we've got the Ace of Cups, which is what I saw. We've got restriction, and we've got temperance and moderation. No, they would not. Now, this is maybe what Putin is beginning to understand, that NATO, even though Ukraine is not a member of NATO, Europe would not stand idly by and see a free country slaughtered in the way that it is. Now, I don't think there's war. I think that this game of Russian roulette that he's playing is very tenuous. So at this stage, given I've got that Moon card and those other cards, I'm thinking that a final committed decision hasn't been made yet, and the reason it hasn't been made is because of what the Western allies are doing and saying at this stage. The Five of Cups, he would lose 3 cups and only gain 2. And that would be an inevitability if he did what he wants to do. All right, let's pull a oracle card on this. Why are we being presented with this type of aggression? You know, which people are calling, you know, this is not real, it's just staged, yada yada. You know, yet another kind of evidentiary thing that everybody's questioning. Why are we getting this energy at this time? We're all battered and bruised from a COVID pandemic. We've got the giveaway. Number 23, 5, the giveaway. There's some sort of gift here coming to us. What is this? The Moon card. Okay, so maybe what emerges from all of this is not such a bad thing, because we have Pachamama. So we have that feminine, and the Queen of Swords came up as a clarification for the Moon. Interesting. It's all part of what is going on at the moment. The rattle clearing the space. Okay. Sometimes we can't look around the corner and say with certainty that he is or isn't going to invade. We have to understand that the purpose of all this is to bring things to the surface. All right, let's move on to we don't go to the worst case scenario automatically. We do not. We should never do that unless we absolutely have no other choice. Okay, I want to move on to the ex-president now. You would already know that a judge has ruled civil suits against him can proceed. That's huge. What that means, that anyone in Congress or anyone who was affected by the January 6th insurrection coup attempt can sue the president, ex-president, personally. Now, when I first read, I think it was might have been January the 7th, I said these civil suits would come forward, and they would come thick and they would come fast, and that we would get to the truth and Trump would be ruined. On top of that, Mazars, the accounting firm, has said we can't vouch for the last decade of financial statements. This ultimately proves the New York Attorney General's civil case, and I would say goes some way to assisting the Manhattan Attorney General's criminal case. Ultimately, I think the Trump organization will be wound up. So, the other big news is that the Ivanka and Don Jr. and Donald Trump Sr. They can't stop being deposed on the stand. They will have to testify. So these are huge, huge things. The only thing now, restricting him. The only thing now, and of course the money loss at the base of the pack. The only thing now is for the Republican base to, in the majority, turn away from him. And that will take his ability to fundraise politically, which is his new source of income, away. So, doesn't look good for him, does it? Okay, show me what's coming up for the ex-president Donald Trump. Considering all of those things, the Mazars decision, the Attorney General, New York Attorney General's case, the Georgia Fulton County DA's case, anything that the DOJ might be doing, what's coming up for Donald Trump? There he is, the Lovers. And I know that some of Putin's motivation is to take away the spotlight from what is happening to him at the moment. Now we have the Strength card here. That's interesting, the Lovers and the Strength. Okay, so I have to say the first thing that comes to my mind is that the cult of Trump in certain quarters is still very, very strong. Still very, very strong, and that is an asset. However, the foundation of the reading is the death card. That is the end. That is the end. So I have to look, I'll bring the laptop down, I have to look at that card in relation to these two. Now the Lovers, crossing the Lovers, reading this another way, is strength. Waning strength, the end of his strength. In the past we have the Ten of Cups, but that's in the past. That's the voter. His support, those that supported him. The Page of Wands in the sky. We've got moving forward, but we've got he's only a page. This is a reduction in political clout. And I read that because this came up for Johnson in a very early reading. He won the election, and I thought, well, hang on, Johnson, how can you win on a Page of Wands? Because we now see his political clout diminishing in the UK. So, but this is also news, information coming out, okay, which could lead to the end, the death card here. Yeah, I think it is connected with the King of Swords. This is an investigation. We're going to hear about an indictment. I thought in February, but tarot is notoriously difficult to pinpoint in time. But there will be in the short term, whenever that is, February, March, we're going to hear about an indictment. Now, in the here and now is suffering massive loss. So, again, whatever we're going to hear about is a huge loss for him. The other thing that the House Committee is wanting to do is terminate the lease for his Washington hotel, given the Mazars' decision to come out, and it's really unprecedented, and say our audits cannot be relied on, our tax audits cannot be relied on because of the inaccurate information we were given. The loss is coming in thick and fast. We've got the Chariot card here. Interesting. That's the environment around. That is what's happening, how he's feeling at the moment. The Knight of Swords, fearing the truth, but also for us, hoping that the truth will come out. And we've got the Knight of Cups here, an offer. What's this Knight of Cups? What are we seeing? Okay, we've got moving out of troubled waters, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, it could be, I'll get a clarifier on that Knight of Cups. It could be people moving away from him. It could be his base moving away from him. It could be the wind up, an offer of will wind Trump all up in much the same way as they did his charity. Let's see what this is, the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a quick energy. Could be, I'm thinking those moving away, thinking donors moving away, support, the Republican, I guess, the Republican elite, moneyed elite moving away. Something is moving away from him. What is this Knight of Cups? So we have the Page of Pentacles. Again, a lot of pages here. Those that were committed to him. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, so financial information. We're going to hear something about financial information in relation to his business. And we've got new starts. What is this Ten of Pentacles, please? What is this Ten of Pentacles? Something is going to be offered to him. There's a celebration here. And the Queen of Cups, something being revealed in the Ace of Cups. Okay, so we will, I think, as I felt before, it is going to be some sort of major, I guess, event here, such as an indictment. Something is going to be revealed and we're going to be celebrating. Things are changing. What's changing? Our ability is becoming clearer to see the truth. Okay, so sometimes the Knight of Cups can be a bit Machiavellian. It is the confidence trickster. Moving away from that. There's a lot more information to come out about money. And we've got him needing to defend himself. And it's coming out at all angles. Could be foreign. His foreign connections could be coming out as well. Information around foreign connections, foreign partnerships. Now, foreign wealth, foreign ties. Now, each of these wands represents a major suit, whether it be criminal or civil, that he has to contend with. He's going to ramp up with that Knight of Cups. He's going to ramp up the appeal to his base as well, which I still feel, they are still sticking with him until this major news comes out. So, or major information, major truth comes out. So, he's just having to fend off multiple suits, multiple actions against him. Can he survive? With that death card, I would say no. Now, the next question before we end here is the GOP, because if the Republicans found their spine, some of them are moving away. When this major news emerges from an investigation, will the Republican hierarchy, the movers and the shakers in the Republican Party, will they shift their support away from Trump? I think they're waiting. So we've got the past and we've got heartbreak. So what's crossing it? He's bringing them down as well. He is bringing them down as well. Wish fulfillment. I think they have been waiting. Instead of, they're getting everybody else to do their dirty work. Judgment. It is inevitable. When he lost the election, it was inevitable. And we've got the Hermit, isolation in the sky. They're going to move away from him. And we've got the Ten of Wands. It's not going to be that easy to justify that. Clarifying that is the Lovers. Oh dear, they're entwined, hook, line and sinker, aren't they? And it's going to be difficult to extricate themselves. Let's keep going. The Ace of Pentacles, they want a new start. They're going to put their support pretty much towards somebody else. We've got the fear of abuse of power. God, Seven Pentacles, yeah. They're reviewing everything. They're going to go to Plan B. Trump is not Plan B, put it that way. And we've got retreat, yeah. Yep. They're going to eventually, Ten of Swords, they're going to abandon. They're going to, the Ides of March, which we always saw would happen. They're the outcome cards. And the isolation, the Hermit. So as the information comes out, the Republicans start to pull away. It's just a question of timing. It is all pretty toxic, isn't it? The Devil card. That was Vladimir Putin's card as well. The Tower, the Insurrection, and the Sword, the Ace of Swords. I also feel that some Republicans are supporting people like Cheney, which I've said in my reading. They're supporting them to get to the truth. So these are the underlying energies. It's a dirty game, isn't it, politics? Anyway, that's my reading. Thanks for tuning in.